guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel, Sisters Corner. I'm Elero.
I'm Ollie. Hi guys.
Hi guys, and today we're bringing to you season 12 of Married at First Sight, episode 9, Chris and Paige review.
Yes.
If you want to check out our other video, our other review about the other couples, we'll add a link to it.
I think link it in the video.
All right, Chris and Paige. Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Chris and the Bum. Bum and the Chris.
Okay.
Paige and the Bum.
Right.
I got so many names
I'm so frustrated. So the scene opens with Paige having a meeting with Pastor Dwight. If you guys remember Pastor Dwight, he's from Chris's camp, and he's also the pastor that married. He's also the pastor that married them.
Was he the one that married them?
Yeah, he's the one that married them.
Guys, okay, I need to watch episode 1 again.
No, he's the one that married them, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, I have mixed feelings about this. What did you think about the meeting?
A double-minded man is unstable in all
That's what Pastor Dwight said.
That's one thing I know.
Before we even get into that, I wanted to say that if I was Paige, fair enough, you know, this man is coming to me for concerns and everything. But I wouldn't even entertain anybody from Chris's camp because I wouldn't want you to coerce me. I wouldn't want you to manipulate me. I wouldn't even want you to say anything on his behalf that would make me to start thinking.
The pastor, I understand that before the meeting, you could have thought that, but that pastor switched side. Like it's not like his leg is in Chris camp and he's trying to he switched side totally, right?
So during the meeting with Pastor Dwight, Paige recounts, you know, the whole situation that she's in with Chris, how, you know, she had a meeting with his ex and blah, 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 and that he wants a divorce. And that's when, you know, Pastor Dwight, number one, reveals that when he first met Chris years ago, he was engaged.
I was like...
That threw me for a loop. I was like, how many times have you been engaged? Secondly, who are these women allowing you to go down on one knee and propose to them? Like, is there a mental...
I don't think you can hold someone from going down on their knees. But I was so thrown in the loop for that, with that information. I was like, what? You've been engaged at 27? You've been engaged twice?
And remember, he said years ago. So I'm thinking like maybe he met him 5-6 years ago.
So that means at 21. No, he said 5 years ago.
He said 5 years ago.
Oh yes, he did. He said 5 years ago when I met Chris, he was engaged.
Pastor Dwight said something that he's somebody that desires marriage. And I believe that because having been engaged twice that we know of, and then coming into this process, I think what it is, you know, in our community, especially the Black community and African community, there's this conception that marriage comes with this title and this elevated status and this prestige and this honor and all of that. And I think he genuinely really covets that. I feel like he wants the benefits and the prestige and the status that comes with marriage, but not the commitment. Do you understand? And then Pastor Dwight now gives a wonderful scripture, which I'm going to be using all the time.
I'm going to be using it all the time because I definitely know that scripture, but when he said it, I was like, yep, this makes so much sense.
No other way to describe him. So he says that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, which is what we can see with Chris. When your yes cannot be yes, unstable. When your no cannot be no.
I've never seen this kind of instability before.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Pastor Dwight kept saying that, you know, he also reiterated the point that, you know, Chris isn't, like, he felt that the best chance that Chris had of making any relationship succeed was this experiment and with Paige. And he kept again reiterating how amazing she is and how wonderful and she's a diamond. And that kind of got me a bit, because if I was Paige, I'll just be like, y'all don't need to keep telling me that I'm beautiful just because this guy doesn't find me attractive. Like, I'm not a charity case that you guys have to keep repeating.
So you feel like it was what's the word when you're patronizing?
It felt quite patronizing. And I mean, so I've seen some comments online where, and you guys tell us what you think. People were like a bit, why did Pastor Dwight have to reach out to Paige? You know, he's Chris's friend. Why is he reaching out to Paige? And then I have mixed feelings about it, because I was like, one, from a pastoral perspective,
And
he's the one.
Right, especially because, to be honest, I did miss out on the fact that he was one that blessed their marriage. You might feel like a sense of responsibility
to see this through.
Right.
And then people are like, why didn't he reach out to Chris? Or instead of reaching out to Paige, it's Chris.
Guys,
and I was like, last week.
Thank you. I was going to say, are we now like doing selective amnesia? Because last week Chris didn't want none of it.
He was giving him sound advice.
He didn't want none of it.
But Chris shut down. So what am I going to do when party A is not responding or listening? I'm going to go to party B. I'm not going to keep going to party A to try and make party A see reason. But then at the other hand of me, I'm like, it's like Pastor Dwight was 15 minutes of fame. I don't trust nobody.
I had that moment too.
Did you see the Sharpie? The Sharpie pen he used for his edges,
I don't know.
for his shape.
To be honest, I did not notice. But when Chris said that you should clean off your Sharpie,
oh my god, how did you not notice? Oh my god,
actually did not notice.
So because he was sweating and the light was illuminating, you could see his shape up. It kind of looked like he was drawing with a Sharpie pen, and I was like, that's what I need to be doing to my edges.
Well, Pastor Dwight, I would love some. I got some edges issue.
So, are we done with her meeting with Pastor Dwight?
Yes, I think we are. I think it is what it is at this point.
Yeah. She also revealed that she doesn't feel like the ex is pregnant. I mean, everyone.
Oh yeah, everyone thought that because the timing doesn't line up. So, and then she did say the line that is beginning to piss me off when she says it, which is, "I told him this relationship no longer serves me." She said like 3-4 times in this episode. I was talking to Alera on that night. I was like, Paige no longer serves me.
How about that? You no longer serve us.
Because last week I was here when she said that the first time. I was like, oh my god, yeah.
We were rooting for you, Paige. We were rooting for you.
And then this episode, you let this guy, you even let him within. You need to get a restraining order. How about that? So I was a bit disappointed.
So before she has the meeting with Chris, she now, during the pool party.
Oh yeah, she was at the pool party.
Yeah, so she meets up with the girls at Jacob's house.
That's how you know which ex is the bad ex, right? The ex that is the bad ex, or the like when a couple breaks up in a season, the ex that don't make sense is the one that is never invited to the group stuff.
Yeah, because nobody likes him. The crew members don't even like him. Nobody likes him.
You're on the outside.
So again, she repeats the same story to the girls, and she now reveals that Chris contacted her and wants them to meet up. And I love Clara for this. Clara was like, again? Which is what we're all thinking.
Yeah,
right? Which is what we're all thinking. And then Virginia then goes
Virginia is good. She minded her business a little bit this episode.
But she now asks a question.
Yeah,
taking out the baby mama, taking out the ex and all of that. How is he as a person? Because that's the fundamental thing.
Isn't it so funny that Jeannie seems to have like a level of depth to her, and she seems to be able to reason, which would have worked for Ryan. Sorry, just to jump into that, because she would have been able to interact in the donut thing.
So take the depth of Virginia,
right, and give it to Clara.
But we digress. Yeah. So she basically asked, like, what do you think of him as a man, like? As an individual, would you be willing to rekindle the relationship? And our sister Paige says, whatever the good Lord presents to me that day is what I'm gonna do. So she didn't say a yes, she didn't say a no.
Paige forgets that God wants only good things for us. God wants the best for us. The plans that He has for us are awesome and great plans.
I had that, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, plans of good and not of evil.
Thank you.
Plans to make you prosper and bring you to an expected end.
Right.
Chris is gonna bring you to an unexpected end. And then I had another verse as well for you, because you keep coming up with God told me to do this and all that. The blessings of the Lord maketh rich, and it adds no sorrow.
For sure. So sis, what are you doing? I understand. And I think it was yesterday I was talking to Lara, and I said that I think Paige is so sold to this dream of what, like, I want to be married. I'm gonna look like this. My husband's gonna look like this. We're gonna cook. We're gonna, like, she has a vision of what she wants her married to look like.
her and Chris idolize marriage.
Yes.
So for Paige, it doesn't matter who she was going to be partnered up with.
Yeah.
She was going to be married for life.
That's what she went in.
Whether he was an emotional abuser, whether he was a physical abuser, whether he was a good guy, a bad guy,
that's what I realized. That she's so sold to that vision and so committed to that vision, and that's great because that's what Christ wants us to like in a good marriage, in a good relationship. You know what I mean? He wants us to be so sold out to that union and that partnership, right? But you can't be sold out to it to the detriment of yourself, and that's what it is now. Because now this guy is you need to care about who you're getting into this partnership with. It's not harden up.
It's not
harden up, and you need to understand that.
And another thing that I even want to say when it comes to relationships is that when you do not have peace in a relationship, do you understand? Peace that surpasses understanding. Because yes, there might be trials and tribulations, but if you're not having peace about the person you're partnered up with, that one is a sign from God.
I just think she's so sold out to the vision of what she wants marriage to look like and that dynamic. And as you mentioned earlier, she really idolizes marriage, that she's not caring about what they put in front of her. And this man, it can't work. It might, and the funny thing is that I say it can't work, it might work 10 years from now. But right now, Chris is not a man ready for marriage.
Yeah.
Is not a man ready for marriage. And that's just what it is.
So, anyways, she now meets up with Chris, and in the confessional she says, you know, God led me to meet up with him. And you know what, I'm not even going to say anything about that because, you know, what you and God are speaking about, that's
I'm not privy to that.
Yeah, I'm not privy to that information.
Okay.
So she sits down, waiting for him.
First of all, that needs to be the last time I see her get to any location before he does.
Right,
I noted that down. I was like, it's beginning to really piss me off.
You look like she's waiting for him.
Every time she's waiting for him.
Yeah.
When they met with the baby mama, she was waiting for him. Every time they had a session with Pastor Carl, she was waiting for him.
That's a very
Today
good point.
she was waiting for him. The time they went to the car park, he drove off.
She was still standing there.
That is the perfect interpretation of what their marriage looks like.
She's always waiting for him.
Says you're holding the rope. You're left holding the rope. You need to learn how to not be the one. No, sorry. Yeah, I noted that. I was like, you need to stop being.
Yeah, that's very true. So he finally comes in and he sits down and all that. They do small talk. And then he had the nerve. Do you know he had the nerve to say, I was mad at you last week. Best believe that peach sangria that I was holding would have been all over you.
Because he was mad at her last week. Just because he's wrong doesn't mean he ain't got no emotion.
I don't even understand.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Anyway, so he kind of it's a bit like smug, right? He gets to find out that she's had a meeting with Pastor Dwight. Again, I think it's production stirring the pot. They must have revealed it to him because Pastor Dwight definitely didn't reach out to him. He says in his confessional, and he was acting like a brat. He was like, "You're on my side. You're my friend. Why are you meeting up with her?" And
it was like we will no longer talk about this.
So he ended the relationship with Pastor Dwight there and then. And I was like, Pastor Dwight don't even like you know. So I think he'll be good.
Yeah, I think he'll go.
So through the course of the conversation, Paige kept asking, "Why am I here?" I think she asked that about 4 times.
Yeah,
and to me, it felt like someone wanting that validation of, you know, I've had a revelation and I want to be with you. Because when she kept saying, "Why am I here? Why am I here?
That's why
Why am I here? Why am I here?"
No, but Alera, I do understand. I do understand why she would feel like that though. Because why else would you be calling me if nothing has changed?
And you know, he said he had the audacity to be like, nothing has changed since last week. But you would. Can you understand that in a normal world, if you break up with someone last week and they call you or they say let's meet up, you're thinking they've had a change of heart.
Like, oh, I left my boxers in your suitcase. You could have told me that on the phone. I would have mailed it to you. You know what I mean? But for them to say, let's sit down together, I'm accepting there's an update. Whatever the update sounds like, you need to be able to tell me something that has made me get off from my house, put on my makeup, put on a dress, and come out here and meet you. So I didn't think that was too far-fetched to be wondering, why am I here? Like, And you would think it's positive news since you called me out.
I agree. I just felt like, Paige being Paige, just wanted him to be like, I choose you.
For sure.
Yeah. So, after he said there's no change since last week, Sis got upset. And I was so happy. She got up.
I was happy.
And she walked away. Yeah. And I was like, yes, girl,
I was hoping she was going home,
but then this is where there's two people are like, the producers stopped her from leaving.
Yeah.
Do you think that? I don't think the producers stopped her from leaving, because they showed the producers. It looked like she walked over to the producers, because the producers were there eating.
Right.
There was a shot of them eating.
Right.
Yeah, it looked like she walked over to the producers and wanted to vent.
No, but I think I do go with the opinion that they must have told her, he's here now, it's not leaving, go back and have the conversation, right?
Well, they did tell her.
Do you know what I mean?
When she was venting to them and saying, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm tired. Yeah. Then they said to her, then tell him that you're done, you're not going to do this anymore.
Why are you telling me? I'm tired of hearing this mess.
So sis goes back to Chris. She sits down and she says, I don't like my time being wasted. I don't like wasting other people's time. He starts smiling.
He has a smug, and I was like,
he was so smug.
I'm not smiling because of what you said.
This is how I deal with things.
This is how I do. I said, no, you need to learn. Go work on your facial expression. That's another thing you need to go work on. Go away with that. Because it wasn't even before that. There was a couple of things that she said, and he was just smiling, and she was like, and he kept on saying, "Oh, I'm not laughing at what you're saying, but you're making me feel like my conversation is dumb."
Yeah, you're making me feel like a laughing stock.
Yeah, that's what you're making me.
That would provoke.
And she did say, she said that. She said, you have me looking crazy in the street. I was like, oh, so you know. So you know this thing. Yes, you do look crazy in the street.
Anyway, so he now goes on to, I think you want to talk about this, how he now goes into this whole, it's not you, it's me. I was afraid that I would make the wrong decision, trying to make the right decision. So in turn, he's basically saying that, trying to get back with his ex for the sake of his child. He's afraid that he's going to miss out on something with Paige. And the only reason why he wants to get back with the mother of his child is because he doesn't want his child to be raised in separate households.
So I was going to say, I believed him when he went into, if you watch that maybe 90-second clip, he kept on talking about, he used the word afraid a couple of times. I do think, don't get me wrong, 110%, Chris is manipulative. He's very manipulative. I agree with that 110%. But is he afraid? I think he's afraid. The reason why I say that is that, so I look at Chris and I take a step back, and I look at the fact that he's also a pastor scared, right? Because his dad is a pastor. He has this.
Well, he's a minister scared. I don't know if he's a pastor.
But I thought,
and he's a minister
church
himself. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. So I feel like there's probably this image that they put up there, right? In terms of like how they want to look, right?
Well, it's shattered now.
It's not.
Sorry.
What is another word? Like shattered, you can probably still like find the pieces, or
it's broken into millions of pieces.
So for me, I kind of took a step back and I was like, okay, I can see how he's afraid. I can see how he's afraid because he doesn't know what he's doing. He definitely doesn't find this girl attractive. But then there's 1,000,001 people that are telling him that this girl is actually good for you. This could actually be something that could be good for you. And then there's also someone now, if the only reason why I would believe that he's afraid is if that girl is really pregnant. If she's really pregnant, he probably feels this sense of responsibility and to keep this face up, like, oh, I want to look after my kids. I want to be there for my kids. Because probably part of this, as we talked about, for someone that idealizes marriage, part of their ideology of marriage is not having kids outside. So if he moves forward with Paige, he's losing a part of that vision if she's actually pregnant, right? Whereas going back to her seems more like an easier option because...
But then you have now a divorce.
So that's what I mean, that all those scenarios are true, he's probably really afraid. Because now it's like, if I go forward with the kid, then I have a divorce, which means part of me idealizing marriage, I've lost a vision of that. If I do move forward with Paige, then I have a kid outside of a home, which, so either way, you can see how if all of that is conflicted, all of that could be true, right? But is it a man, is it a devious, is it a man, is all of those things. But it doesn't still mean that when you're selfish or you're not a nice person, you still feel other emotions. You know what I mean? It still doesn't miss out from the fact that you can be afraid, or you can be sad, or you can be 110 things, right?
Okay, so I agree with that maybe there is some semblance of truth. But you know what I think?
Right.
I think Mercedes kicked him to the curb and he just needs somewhere to live.
Oh, yeah.
That's just it.
So now
all of a sudden, you're now coming back to me saying that you see yourself falling in love with me. How can you fall in love with me when you're not even attracted to me?
So that's a lie. That bit I'm only picking up on the word afraid, guys. Please don't get me wrong.
Like,
no, every other thing before and after is a lie.
You're not even attracted to me.
No, that was rubbish.
So because even if you're gonna even say lusts, you're lusting after me. Lust could even develop into love.
Yeah.
But there's nothing about me apart from the sex. There's nothing about me.
Yeah. No, he was lying. He was blatantly sat there, looked her in the face, and he was just like rapping lies to her.
Yeah. After he says the whole I'm afraid and I see myself falling in love with you, and then he now says the key word which is what she always loves to hear. I'm a married man. As soon as he says that, I think he said I'm a married man or married. This is a married.
Yeah.
She was now melting.
You can see
because first she had a stag face, like
she was melting.
And then as soon as he said married, she was kind of like, okay, daddy, okay, Zach.
Well, to be honest, knowing that Paige is afraid, she probably was saying, okay, daddy. She probably was saying that.
So
like, no.
Finally, Chris was now like, I think we just need a reset and to start.
Like, throw away the reset button, throw away you, Chris, throw away this whole show at this point. What are we talking about reset? I don't want to. How do you reset that? Like, how do you reset that? It's been back to back to back to back to back to back. No.
I said, what are you resetting to? Resetting to more emotional abuse, resetting to more humiliation, to more lies, to more
I don't understand.
Okay, for me, it was two things. Like, one was that whole, what are we resetting to?
Yeah.
Two was, she gave, even if you're gonna stay in this marriage, which is what I've been saying over and over again, she gave in too quickly. You did not even allow 24 hours to pass by and let this man stew. You did not even play hard to get. Do you understand? Because now there's a pattern. He's now seen that no matter what I do, as long as I come, give you some sob story, you're gonna melt and accept me back. And if they do decide to stay married, this is going to be a pattern.
Yeah,
he will be out there cheating.
He
comes back to her and says, I'm sorry, and she accepts him. So I felt like Paige, at this point, you're a glutton for punishment. It's just so sad because she's now moved from a victim to a willing participant. Yeah. Do you understand what I mean?
She is a willing participant at this point.
It's making me sad because she's perpetuating this ideology that women cannot choose to be in a better situation.
Right.
She's constantly waiting to be chosen. And it's so sad because as women, we also have the power to choose. Yeah. Do you understand?
I understand.
She's constantly waiting to be chosen by this man that is not even deserving of her. Right, and instead of her to own her power and be like, you know what, I'm choosing to walk away from this situation.
Which was why the statement she said last week really spoke to me, because I felt like she finally got back her power. It's like, this relationship no longer serves me. I don't worry about what you're doing. I don't worry about what you see this relationship. But this is no longer... It doesn't fit my energy. It doesn't fit who I want. I'm choosing to walk away. That's why I was so happy when she said that, because for me, it was more than the statement that she made. It was the fact that I felt like maybe she's got some sort of revelation, and she was like, I am getting my power back. I am understanding that this guy is not good for me. But for her, it seems like it was just a word of mouth. Like, it's not really what she believed.
One thing before we round up, there's one thing that I want to stress, and it's the fact that there's this belief that women need to suffer, that the strength of a woman, is measured by how much nonsense and rubbish and how much suffering she endures, especially in the African community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot
that we need to suffer in our marriage.
You see people that have, and guys, when I say this, I don't want you to get us wrong. Like, we're not saying that every relationship is different. Facts. We're gonna accept that. But it seems like, as Alero said, it seems to be like an ideology that has been
passed down from generation
to generation in our community, that, oh, you know, it would not be easy, it might do this, it might do that, it might be like this, it might be like that, but you know,
you just have to accept it.
I'm actually thinking about an African couple right now, and I think about the fact that he already has so many kids outside, blah blah blah, and you know, then later on they're together and they're now showing this, I'm so in love, and then some people are like, oh, she was with him through the thick and the thin, and this all ride or die.
Where are we dying to? Jesus has already died for us, and I don't need to die.
What are you dying for? No. But I do understand that as a couple, you will grow. You would things will happen. You will walk through things together. But do not let somebody make you feel less than you are. Do not let someone make you feel inferior to yourself. Understand that you also, I love what I learned, you have a power to choose.
And I think for us, the audience, the reason why we can't wrap our heads around it is because you've only known dude at that point. Well, now it's 21 days. There hasn't been that much investment for you to allow yourself to roll over and let this man
walk
my
over you. Right? I really struggle because I'm like, I don't understand.
We don't understand it.
It's only been 3 weeks. I can't imagine.
We understand.
I don't know. I can't imagine talking to someone for 3 weeks.
And you put me through this,
and I'm
still talking to you. Are you mad? Message. I just want anyone that's kind of going through this, or watching this show and having reservations about marriage. This is not a healthy representation of marriages.
For sure.
Marriage with the right person is amazing. Marriage is to be enjoyed, not endured, right? There will be difficulties, there will be circumstances.
But it's not you against each other, right? It's you against the
world,
right?
You together. So I don't want you guys to look at this and be like, shoot, I ain't getting married if people are going to be acting a fool like this. And then secondly, the other thing that I also want to reiterate, we've said this already, is women and even men, you have the power to choose your destiny. You have the power to change the course of your life. You shouldn't stay in a relationship that one is not bringing the best out of you. You know, the only time I've seen Paige smile was during that group meeting. This is 9 episodes.
Right,
that's when I really saw her light and she was happy.
Did. Yeah.
Listen, 3 weeks, this guy has been draining the life out of you and you want to continue.
Chris has shown you who he is. That's who Chris is. He's shown
when somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them.
So I don't know why what she thought would have changed. And I know that they've had sex now.
Of course.
I already feel my aggravation towards next week's episode. So
so guys, we're done because every time we speak about them, I feel my blood boiling.
I know what your thoughts are on Chris and Paige's relationship, especially Paige. How do you think she should have handled the situation, or what could she have done better? I don't know honestly. Instead of walking away, I don't know. But yeah, so comment down below. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We hope it's not too long, but like, comment and subscribe, and we'll catch you next week. Bye guys.
Bye.